Hey, and welcome to part 2 of laser engraving and ammo can. We're going to pick right back up where we left off in our first video, where we laid out our artwork and created the vector files. In this video, we're going to fixture the ammo can in the laser and engrave the job. So let's go ahead and get that started. Come on. I'm using an Epilog 32EX, which has a bed that's capable of engraving 20 inches high and 32 inches wide. So what I have here is a 20-inch by 32-inch layout. So now, once I've imported in my ammo can artwork that we just did, I can bring it in and I can place it exactly where I want it in my laser. So in my particular laser, and in most lasers, you have what's called a 0-0 origin, which is the starting point from which your laser will operate. In this case, my origin, my 0-0, is this back left corner. This would be the laser bed if you were looking down from above. So this back left-hand corner is my 0-0 origin point. So now you can kind of see why it's important to draw the outline of the object, in this case the ammo can. I have the sides here and I have the front here. So the reason that I did that was so that when I put this into the laser, in this case we'll take this one side here and we'll bring it in and we'll place it right in that 0-0 origin point. So there it is. And for now we can temporarily delete the other profiles because we're only going to be engraving one side of the ammo can at a time. And we can zoom into this here. And now you can see that it's placed exactly in the laser. And I know that that upper left-hand corner of the ammo can is positioned correctly. Therefore, when I send this to the laser, it will engrave this artwork exactly where I have it here. So now that I have this brought in, I can delete the ammo can outline and just leave the artwork. And so now if you zoom out, you'll see all I have there is the artwork. No other outlines are in the layout here. It's just the artwork. So in laser lingo, vector is a cut and a raster is an engraving. So we're going to engrave this artwork onto our ammo can and send this job by going to File, Print, Properties. We don't want to cut, that's a vector. We want to engrave, that's a raster. So we'll send it 100% speed. Let's do it at 80% power. And everything else looks good. And we'll hit print. And we'll send this first job to the laser. This just takes a second. What I do is I go here to the print queue and I wait until the file has been sent. It's 493 kilobytes. There we go. The job is sent. Now we can go to the laser. I've put the ammo can into the laser in exactly the same orientation as I showed you on the screen. And you can see here the can is sitting in that 0-0 origin point that I mentioned earlier. And now what we're going to do to guarantee that we get this engraved perfectly on the ammo can where we want it is to use this little trick. We're going to take a piece of just clear acrylic. This is scrap acrylic that I've got just laying around in the shop. And we're going to put it on top of the ammo can. Doesn't really matter where, just as long as it's covering the area that's going to get engraved. And we're going to focus the laser onto the acrylic piece first, and then we're going to engrave this artwork onto the acrylic. Now the reason why I use clear acrylic is because you can see exactly where the artwork is on the object that's being engraved. And this can be done on anything that you're engraving. The beautiful part is the clear acrylic allows you to see the object you're engraving through the plastic, and you'll know exactly where the artwork is in relationship to the object that you're engraving. That is super important when you're doing a job for a customer. I had a piece the other day that was very expensive, and I had to absolutely guarantee that the artwork was going to be in a specific location. I didn't want to risk it, and I used this method by putting the acrylic on top of the object, engraving the artwork directly onto the acrylic, and then I was able to see through the acrylic if it was in the right location or not. And in the case of my artwork, which I thought was perfect at the time that I sent the job, it was actually off by about 1/4 of an inch. So I was able to simply move the artwork on the computer screen over 1/4 of an inch, resend the job to the laser, and do it again on the clear acrylic until I knew that the job was in the right location. Then what you do is you just simply remove the acrylic, you refocus the laser now on the ammo can surface, and you run the same job. You don't move the can at all, you leave it exactly where it is, and you know that once the laser is refocused on the surface of the ammo can and you send the same job that you just did with the acrylic, it's going to go exactly in the right spot every time. The next thing I'm going to do is send the job to the laser and we'll start the engraving process. Okay, with the acrylic now on top of the ammo can, we can send this job to the laser, and here we go. And we're just going to run the job. We'll let it go through its cycle, and you can see right away it is engraving into this clear acrylic. And I'll show you how that looks when it's done. It'll just take a minute or so, and I'll get back to you. All right. So 5 minutes and 20 seconds later, we have our artwork engraved into our clear acrylic. And you can see it is in the perfect location, exactly where we want it. So now we are confident if we run this job without the acrylic on top, we'll remove this now and we'll run the job exactly the same way, only this time we'll focus on the surface of the ammo can to get the laser focused perfectly. We will rerun the job and it'll be in the exact location that we want it to be in. Now that's the trick I wanted to share with you. So now let's go ahead and engrave this side of the ammo can, and I'll get back to you as soon as we're done with that. And just like before, 5 minutes and 20 seconds later, we have our ammo can engraved. It looks perfect. So now we're going to repeat the same exact process with the clear acrylic, and we'll engrave the other side of the ammo can. All right, things are looking really good. We got the other side engraved, and that is looking perfect. So the last thing we need to do is engrave the flap on the lid of the can, and we'll set that up now. So what I had to do here in this case was take the lid off the ammo can, which was super convenient because it comes right off. I then had to fixture the flap that we're going to engrave. I had to lift that up so that it was level, and in order to do that, I was able to slide the lid from a spray can underneath that. So there's a lid from a spray can, a cap underneath there, that's holding this flap up for me. Then I'm able to focus the laser on the acrylic, not on the ammo can, on the acrylic. Now we can remove that, and we can reset the laser. And now we're ready to engrave the flap. But notice the orientation now. So we have the 0, 0 coordinate back here. So knowing that now, I can take a tape measure and just measure over from the edge to the center, get that distance, measure from this edge to the center, and get that distance, and then place the artwork in CorelDraw in exactly that same orientation, and we should be good to go. Again, we'll know for sure if we're good to go by how it comes out on that clear acrylic when we send the job. So let's do that next. To lay out the artwork for the lid, we've got the text that we need engraved, oriented correctly. This was the lid that I had drawn up just for my own reference. So now that it's rotated correctly, we can just go ahead and delete that outline. And we know that the text, the center of the text, needs to be 2.5 inches down by 3 inches over. Now I'm saying that incorrectly for a reason, and you'll see why in a second. But let's say we said 2.5 inches down, 3 inches over from the 0, 0 coordinate, which is right here. So what we need to do is we need to go to View, Snap to, document grid. And now what we'll do is we'll just draw some rectangles for reference. So we said 3 inches over from this edge. So we'll go here and we'll say 3 inches. That's good. And 2.5 inches down from the top. So we'll just go over 2.5 inches down. There you go. And now where these two intersect, that'll be the center point for our text. So then what we can do is click one time on the text. You'll see the X, which represents the center of that text. We can zoom in a little bit more. Click and drag. All right. And you can see here it's perfectly on the center. Now if we zoom out, we can just delete these two boxes that we just drew for reference. And we'll send this job now to the laser. I put the artwork in the incorrect location deliberately to show you how this shows us before. Imagine now, if I had done this to the ammo can, that lid would have been ruined. You can see now we need to move it towards the left a little more, and we definitely need to move it down some more. So let's go ahead and do that, and we can resend the job. Yeah, look how far off that was, see? And because it's clear, you can see right through to the ammo can and know that we got it in the wrong location. So let's go ahead and send it again in the right location this time. So I've repositioned the acrylic so that we have a nice clearer spot on the acrylic to see where the artwork is going to go. And let's send the artwork here to the laser. Here we go. And you can see this is much better. Much better. It's going right exactly where we want it. So I'm going to go ahead and let this run, and we'll come back when it's finished, show you the results. And 3 minutes and 16 seconds later, we've got our artwork engraved into the acrylic in exactly the right location. Good to go. So now we can remove the acrylic, run the job again, and we'll have a perfect outcome. And there you have it. Perfect. Let's reassemble this can and wrap this up. All right. Well, as you can see, our laser engraved ammo can project is a huge success. I couldn't be happier with the way it came out. I hope this video was helpful and taught you a few new tricks when it comes to precisely placing artwork on your objects in the laser. The clear acrylic trick I shared with you today is one of my favorites, and it's an absolute game changer, especially for me and my work. I can't tell you how many times it's saved the day, and it's prevented me from ruining a piece of my laser. I also hope this video has been informative, and I encourage you to come back often. I'm always creating new projects, and it's great to have friends drop by here at the workshop. If you got anything from this video today, could I ask you a huge favor and have you click the like and subscribe buttons below? That would really help me get this channel going. Also, if you've got any questions regarding CorelDraw or laser cutting and engraving, just drop me a comment below and tell me what you'd like to see. You may just be the subject of my next video. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope to see you here again at the Makerspace. Until then, take care. Bye for now.